Hi YouTube, my name is Rachel. It's nice to meet you. And I am starting my channel, Baking Away the Pain, talking about chronic illness. So why did I decide to do this? Well, that's a great question. I have dealt with pretty major health issues most of my life, and recently things have gotten a little more intense, shall we say, and I really kind of want to know who else is out there and how they handle news that they get about their health and their coping mechanisms. And it's nice to meet other people who really understand what you're going through. And I also want to talk to family, friends, loved ones, caretakers of somebody who has chronic illness, because as a nurse, I know that chronic illness doesn't only affect the patient, it has that systemic effect of affecting everybody around you. So, this first video is probably going to be the driest one I post. Don't want you to stop there and turn it off from there. But, it's kind of a first date, nice to meet you, kind of see how this works out. And since this is my very first video, bear with me for a little while. I've never done editing or anything like that before. So yeah, I want to be honest, and it's a little nerve-wracking and scary to talk to nobody and everybody at the same time about some pretty vulnerable issues. So let me give you a little background about me, my short elevator pitch. I started with some health issues when I was about 14. I've always had digestive issues, shall we say. I was diagnosed with endometriosis at 14. I always was able to be hyperflexible and had asthma, and then after college was having a quarter-life crisis, shall we say, and was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And then in 2014, I thought I was having food poisoning. Long story short, turned out to be pancreatitis. And I was midway through nursing school at that time, which was my third time back at school. So we'll back up just a little bit. And I have an undergraduate degree in psychology. Then I went and got my massage license, opened my own business for about 7 years, realized I love doing massage and love doing holistic care, but I wanted to be able to do more with patients, and decided to go back and get my 4-year nursing degree. And while halfway through the expedited program, I come down with what they call idiopathic chronic pancreatitis, which, for those of you out there who don't know, it means they didn't know why I was having chronic pancreatitis. So they didn't know, because I've never been a heavy drinker, drug user. I don't have a family history. It just kind of came, boom, out of the blue. And in 1 year, I had 5 bouts of pancreatitis, ended up getting a feeding tube, and then it was decided that the best course of action would be a total auto-islet pancreectomy. Ugh, mouthful. First time I heard that, and they told me that they just take your pancreas out, put those life-needing digestive enzymes into your liver, and your liver will function as your pancreas. And I asked the doctor if it was just a weekend procedure because I had clinicals the next week, and I was like, so can we do this on, sooner than later, just get it done. And he laughed and he said, no, this is pretty major. It's 2 weeks in the hospital, minimum of 3 months at home, slow recovery. It'll be a year before you're back to yourself, which in his terms was you'll be 90% of what you used to be before you got pancreatitis. And it's like, okay, can we wait until after nursing school to do this? Because I'm going to graduate in 6 months. And I was able to put it off until then. And so I got my total auto islet pancreectomy, figured, okay, let's just power through this recovery and I'm going to be good to go for the rest of my life. I'm sick of being sick, that kind of, mentality. Well, turns out not so much. I ended up dealing with some chronic pain, scar tissue issues, and then this past October I started getting headaches, and turns out that I had a carotid artery dissection. Mainly, it means blood was flowing in the wrong direction. I had the carotid artery was blocked off, basically, and so I was getting very little blood flow to my brain. And then they also found I had 2 aneurysms, one on each of my cervical arteries. So